thought this morning that I would talk to you about, I've kind of brought a visual clue here, so we're going to talk about Easter. Oh, and spots as well. I wonder, hands up anyone who's ever had spots. Do you know, that's just about everybody, isn't it? Okay, hands down. I'm going to ask one or two people what kind of spots that they've had. So let's, that young lady there, what kind of spots have you had? Chicken pox spots. Which is a bit hard to say, isn't it? It's horrible, isn't it? I don't remember having it when I was your age, but I remember my two children having it your age. It was all scratchy and itchy, and they want to take their scabs after spots. Oh, it's horrible. Yeah, what kind of spots have you had? Oh, that sounds horrible as well. Nobody wants spots like that. We'll do one more. We'll come over to yeah. You've had what? Oh, I've never heard of that. You have to tell me what that is afterwards. There's all sorts of different spots, aren't there? There's things like chicken pox spots, and then there's kind of rashes. Sometimes we get a rash. My wife gets a rash if she rubs up against a conifer type tree and she comes out in a rash. Other people, if they get too hot, they come out in a prickly heat rash. There's all sorts of spots. And then, of course, there's the dreaded teenage spots, which generally you get when you're a teenager, obviously. And it seems that they come just about when you, just at the point where you notice somebody, a boy or a girl, and you think, ooh, they look rather nice, I'd like to get to know them. And then you go to bed, the next morning you wake up and bing! You have a face full of spots. There's two bits of good news about teenage spots. The first thing is that they do go away eventually. Sometimes it feels like that they're never going to go away when you've got them, but they do go away. And the other really good thing about teenage spots is that you can squeeze them. And if you practice, it's perfectly possible that when you squeeze your spot, excuse me, that you can get it so that it squirts onto the mirror. Again, a word of warning though. If you manage to get to be that good that you manage to get it to squirt onto the mirror, make sure that you clean it off before your mum or your dad comes into the bathroom, because they get very upset. Okay, well, you know, the Bible talks about spots, which always surprises people, but actually the Bible talks about spots quite a lot. And one of the places where it talks about spots is a particular disease that would start with a little white spot somewhere on your body, and it would kind of spread on your body, but it's not just what's going on the outside, it's what goes on the inside that's the problem. You see, what this disease does is it travels down the lines of your nerves towards your extremities, which means your fingers and your toes. And as it travels down the lines of your nerves, it kind of eats away at the protective covering, because the nerves are a bit like the electric cable, it's got a protective covering. And what happens is that your fingers and your toes, they go numb, which may not sound a massive problem, but actually what would happen is that you get a stone in your shoe, and because your foot was numb and you couldn't feel it, you wouldn't take it out. You'd just walk around all day with a stone in your shoe. You could even get a nail that would go right through the sole of your shoe and stick in your foot, and you just carry on walking around. And then, of course, that does a lot of damage. You would get an infection, and it gets to be a huge problem. And eventually, with this disease, what happens is that your fingers and your toes drop off, which is obviously a bit of a problem. But I tell you what, you guys don't need to worry about it, because we don't have this disease in Britain. In fact, you don't have it hardly anywhere in the world at all these days. And you know, even if you went on a very exotic foreign holiday, and even if you did go somewhere where this disease was there and you got it, you just take the medicines and it goes away these days. But it used to be a really horrible disease, and not many people have heard about this, which is a surprise when you said leprosy, because that is the disease. Anybody else heard of leprosy? Oh wow, been doing leprosy in school or something? Okay, hands down. So it was a really, really horrible disease. So you don't need to worry about it. The interesting thing for me is that actually the Bible talked about what you should do with someone that had leprosy hundreds, if not thousands of years before doctors discovered what to do with people that had leprosy. But the Bible does talk about something that we do get in this country, which actually you could argue is even worse than leprosy. And it's something that, I'm going to give you the technical word for this. Okay, normally technical words are really big long words, aren't they? But this is a really short word, just 3 letters. And the technical word is sin. Sin. Now, sin is just all those wrong things that we do and say and think. That's all the kind of things that makes up sin. And it's a real problem because it's a bit like leprosy. It's kind of, you can't see it so much on the outside, certainly in the early stages. It starts small and it gets bigger and it eats away and makes a mess of us on the inside. It stops us from reaching our full potential. It stops us from being able to be really good friends with people. And maybe the worst thing of all, it stops us from being able to be friends with God. Now, I'm guessing all of us have got bad habits. Maybe, might be things like picking your nose, or biting your fingernails. Well, we're not talking about things like that. Those kind of things don't fit into that sin category. The things we're talking about, things like lying and stealing and cheating and fighting and all those kind of things. And as I say, they start off really small. So, for instance, we start off telling a little tiny white lie, and then we end up having to tell a bigger lie to cover up that white lie, don't we? And then we tell a medium-sized lie to cover that one up, and then we end up telling great big whoppers. Well, if you don't want to get caught telling a great big whopper, don't tell a little tiny white lie at the beginning. But if you don't want to get caught robbing a bank, don't take 2 biscuits when Mum said you can only have 1. You see, it starts small, grows bigger, and eats away at the inside of us. Okay, now, I thought we'd have a bit of fun. Explain kind of a little bit how that works, how we can get rid of it, and also the link to Easter, because we've not kind of mentioned Easter yet, have we? Now, I need a volunteer to come and give me a hand with this, and because we're videoing it, I've actually asked the teachers if they could select somebody so that we know that it's okay for them to be videoed. So, Cody is going to come and help me. Normally I would just choose randomly, but Cody's going to come and give me a hand. So thank you ever so much, Cody, for agreeing to come and help me out. I'm not sure whether she's entirely thrilled with this, although I do know she does panto. Stand over this side for me. Thank you. Okay, Cody, what I'm going to give you this blue handkerchief, and I want you to take it. I want you to examine it. Make sure that there's no trap doors, there's no electronic switches, nobody hiding inside. Because you see, what's going to happen is, when you get to lunchtime, loads of people are going to come up to you and they're going to say, Cody, how did you do that? And some of them will say, I bet those spots weren't really stuck on. They were just kind of easily peeled off, or they're just magnets. So have a good look. Particularly have a good look at the spots. Make sure that the spots really are sewn on. So you need to give it a really good look. And it is just what we said it is. It's a blue handkerchief with white spots sewn onto it. Yeah, can you check both sides and then?
Lucas.
You're happy with that? Okay, that's brilliant. Okay, Cody, what can you see in there? Nothing. Do you know why? It's because there's nothing in there. But it's okay, it's not a trick question. We just need to make sure that we know the spots are stuck on and there's nothing in the bag. So Cody, could you fold that up for me? You can use my little table if you want, just to fold it up. You could fold it in half, and half again, because then it fits nicely. Are you that tidy with your bedroom? Okay. Let's stick it in there, push it down. Fabulous. Okay, what I'm going to do, Cody, I need to get you to knock the spots off. I'll see if you can knock the spots off my bag. So I'm going to hold it like this, and I want you to get your fist and just give it a really good hard punch to see if you can knock the spots off. Okay? Good. Have you done it? Oh, sorry. You've done it. But don't hit me, okay? You see, I might look big and tough on the outside, Cody, but on the inside, I'm just a delicate little flower. And I'm especially delicate, just about the height that your fist's at. Boys, you know what I mean. Okay, Cody. Shoulder back in joint. Fabulous. Okay, Cody, let's see if you manage to knock the spots off. So you want to take your hand, put it in, take it out, open it up, and let's have a look to see if you manage to. Somewhere. The question is, where have they gone? Stuck on there as well. Cody, do you know what's going to happen now, Cody? When you give me that handkerchief back, what's going to happen is that completely spontaneously, everybody here is going to give you a massive round of applause. They will. No, you did. Cody, thank you so much for coming to help out. Now, if I was to ask you, just wait till you're facing the front. If I was to ask you what Easter is all about, you would probably tell me that it's about things like fluffy bunny rabbits and little chickens and chocolate Easter eggs. And then eventually, if we carried on, somebody would say, oh, but actually, all those things are kind of like symbols or pictures of what Easter's about, because Easter is about new life. And that's absolutely right. And you know, this is another symbol or another picture of what Easter is all about. Because you remember back to Easter, when Jesus was arrested, and he was punished, and he was put to death on that cross. But you know, he wasn't being punished because he'd done anything wrong. He was being punished for the wrong things that we all do and say and think. And because he was punished in our place, we kind of don't have to be punished. Because you see, it's like as if that sin that spots our lives, makes a mess of us on the inside, that he took that upon himself. And because he took the sin upon himself, if we want to, the Bible tells us that we can come to God in our prayers and ask him to forgive us, and he will forgive us, and he takes the sin away, that he gives us a new life, and he gives us a life that is spotless and clean. So, next time we think of Easter, and we think about what it means, we can think about the rabbits and the chickens and the chocolate eggs, and those pictures of new life. And maybe we'll remember this picture of new life as well. That this is a symbol that Jesus took upon himself all those wrong things, was punished in our place, so that we could have a brand new, spotless life.